All right, so in continuing with our spot illustration, assignment 5, we've posted our sketch, we've posted our vector line art, it just saved as a JPEG, and now we are continuing with our coloring. So to learn the vocabulary and kind of the technical understanding of digital coloring, which is coloring behind real or implied outlines, we can go to assignments and we can see the supplemental materials that will help us under assignment 5. And we have this exhaustive explanation. So one thing I asked you to do was to go to slide 4 in this and do a screen grab of this color palette. This is what's called the flatting palette. These are the most easily recognizable colors that can be mixed with just cyan, magenta, and yellow ink without any black ink on white paper. So those flatting colors can be a good way to start. And I'm going to put those right into assignment 5 here. I already had them. And now I'm going to find our working file format, which is where we started the coloring, which is a PSD. But that PSD has the vector line art at the top. So we set this up like a sandwich. It's what I call the digital coloring sandwich, right? So you start with a blank white layer that is the background layer that I rename by double clicking it, and I call it blank white, and I lock it because you don't want to accidentally color or change that layer. And then you drag and drop your EPS vector file of your line art onto it and you size it. I just use Option. And I'm doing it on a fairly large resolution pixel dimension document, which is 14 inches by 11 inches at 350 pixels per inch. Mine is wider than it is tall. Your illustration might be taller than it is wide, so you do 11 by 14 by 350. If yours is square, I would do 14 by 14, you know. Your vector can be any size, and we're doing the digital coloring, so it will fill any size we choose. Then you hit return, and it comes in as a smart object, right? You put that at the very top, and you mark it as gray, and you lock it, so we have black bread and white bread. That's our digital coloring sandwich. But it isn't a sandwich until you put something in between the slices of bread. And the thing we put, I've marked as yellow here for the cheese, is flat color. Right? And I'm not quite done with the flat color yet. So if we go to those slides, these are the flatting colors. So you can use those to get started, like you see here. But eventually, you're going to want to replace them with the colors you want the thing to actually be. So here we have another example. Here are the flatting colors. Here are the flatting colors underneath the black line art. But then these are the final colors. Command-Shift-4 is how you do a screen grab. So the next thing is just choosing the right flatting colors or the right flat colors for you. And so I use Wonder Woman here because of the primary colors and then skin tone and then dark hair. You know, it's pretty easy to understand what the local colors are for this character. So local flat color is not crazy colors like flatting. Local flat color means that it's the color the thing actually is no matter the lighting condition. So you can see just one single color for each of these contained shapes. Now, that can be your finished coloring. So here are a bunch of professional illustrations of Wonder Woman that just use flat color. Flat color can just be open, right? The hair's flat color is blue. And you can see that you can add black to the flat color, and it still is flat color because black is not a color. And you can add white to the flat color, and it's still a flat color because white is not a color, right? So white and black, sometimes the inking can be heavy, sometimes it can be really thin, but it's all about choosing the right colors. So we have to start with that. So instead of just trying to choose them from the color selector or from the swatches, that can be really difficult. But I'll show you how you can do that. We just use two tools. First, we lock every layer we're not currently adding color to. So we're just adding color to the flat color layer. All of these other ones are reference layers that I'll talk about later and I'll put into a group. But I'm going to be working on the flat color layer, but I need to make my selections from my black bread layer, from my line art layer. And I make my selections by using the magic wand with contiguous on and just a default tolerance of 32. And then I click on the enclosed shape like that dot. And then I move to the flat color layer, the cheese layer, and I go to the paint bucket tool. Then I choose my color. If I want it to be a brighter orange, I can do this. And then I drop it in. Right? And I repeatedly do that for the shapes I want. Now, if I want to do multiple shapes at once, I can do that. Bless you. So if I want to do like the eyeball and the little Instagram lens at the same time, I can hold down Shift and click each of them. And now I can fill them with the same color. So let's see, I'm just going to use kind of crazy colors for now. And then I use the paint bucket. I move to my cheese layer. It's the only one it will let me paint on because it's the only one that's unlocked. All right, then I can hit Command D to deselect, or I can just make another selection. So for like the Spotify app, I just want to fill these in. I'm going to make them all the same color. Go to my flat color. Click on my paint bucket. Find a color. I'll use a green. And then just put it in. So simple enough. Now, the problem is these colors look kind of terrible, right? Which is fine because this makes it so they're really easy to change. I can click on any of them with a new color and change them. But how do I choose better colors? It's hard to do it from here, all these millions of colors. So what I like to do is to have references. The flatting reference is a good way to start. So if I'm looking for kind of a gray for the knight's helmet, right? The Nighthawk helmet. First I have to select it. I'll make this one a little bit lighter. Well, here, I'll do them the same color first. And then I'm going to click on flat color. And then I'm going to use the paint bucket. Now, instead of finding it here, I'm going to hold down Option. When I hold down Option with the paint bucket tool, it changes my cursor to the eyedropper tool, which will help color select anything that's open in Photoshop. So here we have a gray that's mixed of just cyan, magenta, and yellow. So it's what's called a chromatic gray. Let's see if there's something else I need to fill. That little enclosed shape right here in the Instagram camera. I want to fill that, and I want that to be a bright red. So there's a few reds. I want what's called 100% red. So I'm going to go to the flat color layer, hold down Option with the paint bucket, click on that, and then fill that with that 100% red. It's called 100% red because it's 100% magenta and 100% yellow. That's like Superman's cape, the lipstick red. So that is actually everything that I absolutely need to fill, because those are all the free-floating contained shapes. What do I mean by that? If I go to my white bread layer and I duplicate it now, which is the next recommended step, I am going to fill that with another piece of black bread. So fill with middle gray. So edit, fill, 50% gray, 100% normal. And that will show me what my colors look like on middle gray. So my thinking was a lot of these shapes, like the Facebook, the TikTok, the Google Maps, the Spotify, the Messenger app, that would allow the background color to come through. So they're like cutouts. But I don't know that that's working so well for all of it, right? So maybe I do want to fill some of these in, but the gray helps me understand and maybe choose better colors. Now I don't want to accidentally paint on the gray, so I lock it. So still my only layer that's not locked is my flat color layer. And then instead of just choosing from flatting colors, let's try to choose more effective colors, for instance, right? So these are some of the references I have. I have kind of some of the app colors. And a lot of the times they're just white. So if they're white, I'm just going to let it kind of flow through. But other times they're really specific. So like the Instagram one is like pink and orange, right? So I can go through and select the little Instagram camera. And this time when I use the paint bucket and go to my flat color layer, I hold down Option and I'm going to steal it right from the Instagram message or Instagram icon. And I'm going to drop in that pink. And then I think, no, the pink doesn't work so well with it. Let's do the yellow, the yellowish orange. And that has a little bit more pop, right? So maybe I use the pink in the middle. So here's the beauty. Once you've filled in everything, it's what I call the kill whitey phase, right? Then you can just swap the colors. All you have to do is click on them and it will replace them because you've already filled them all in with the paint bucket. So I just have to decide what I want to fill in. And I would recommend that you don't use solid white and you don't use solid black as color fills. You can do things that are very close to white, but I like this kind of cream white from flatting instead of using solid white, so that there's color content to everything. So let's see, if I select the X here, oh no, I'll do this thing. Whatever this little swoosh is from, I forget. But what might I want to fill that with? Maybe I need a little bit more of the green, so I'm going to go to my flat color layer with the paint bucket, and I'm going to steal the green from our campus colors and Nico there, and just drop that in. And then maybe I like that green enough that then I decide, you know what? I want to make sure that these colors all match that color. And then for the little quotes here, maybe I want this brighter green. So I have to select them first because they haven't been filled. The middle gray is nice as a background instead of white because now your colors will look more balanced. When there's bright white behind everything, especially on these bright screens, everything looks darker than it really is. So middle gray helps even that out. And now I go to the flat color and I drop that in with the paint bucket. And then I think, no, I want it to be the yellow instead. So I can hold down Option, steal the yellow, put it in. And then I'm thinking I want to do that for the plus sign too, like a controller. So I'm going to use the paint bucket, steal that yellow, go to the flat color layer, which is the only one it will let me paint on because it's unlocked, drop it in. And then the play button, maybe I use the red. So this is that kill whitey phase. We're just trying to get everything filled. And then, what was this one from? There are so many apps. It's that one, whatever that one is. So it's white on a purple ground. So maybe I'll use, yeah, I'll use this color, but first I have to select it,